Hi guys, this is Tina from Shabbydabbydoodah. Welcome back to my channel. So we are here for another one of our countdown to Christmas, 12 days of Christmas shop your stash episodes. So I've lost track now, but I think we're up to episode 5. So shopping my stash today, I have pulled out these guest checks. Now I was so lucky to be gifted actually 3 pads of these in a Happy Mail. As you can see, I've only used literally a couple of them so far because, yes, of course, I've been hoarding them, which is just crazy, isn't it? So, yeah, I thought I would come along and we will have a play with these. So, let's get started by I'm just going to tear off a bunch. Now, I could actually leave these on here because I've seen a few videos recently where people have coffee dyed an entire pad's worth of things. But, yeah, I'm going to coffee dye them first, I think, because I think that will be probably easiest. Although now I'm thinking I should have probably coffee dyed them on the pad rather than taking them off. So I've just got here beside me just a solution of, it's just coffee and water, and I'm just going to paint over them to coffee dye them. This is just kind of a quick and easy way. If you're not kind of coffee dyeing a whole bunch of things and you're just doing 1 or 2 things, it's just a quick, quick way to coffee dye stuff is just to, paint it on with a brush. So obviously if I was doing, big pieces of paper or a whole massive bunch of stuff, I would probably do it downstairs in the kitchen with my, big lasagna dish. But I'm just doing obviously a handful of these. So yeah, I thought this would be a good method to use. So I will obviously stop the camera in a minute and dry these off so that you're not completely bored just watching them dry, watching paint dry. This would be watching coffee dry. So yeah, I will obviously stop the camera and dry them, but I'm just kind of putting them to the side for the moment. Okay. There we go. So I'll just do a handful of these. I mean, to be honest, I'm probably being like way over ambitious even with the amount that I've coffee dyed so far, because yeah, it seems I'm not particularly efficient and probably won't achieve too many. But we'll just do a couple more. Okay. And, you don't have to limit yourself to coffee dyeing. I mean, you could always, get out your food colour dye and things like that. You don't have to kind of limit yourself to just coffee dyeing these. I mean, I'm just doing these because, the project that I've got in mind, for some reason I was just picturing it coffee dyed. But yeah, I mean, you could always kind of mix this up with some of the food colouring and things like that. I think I've got 2 there, but I'll just leave that together for the moment and just quickly coffee dye the rest, and then I will go off and dry these. Obviously you could do the avocado dyeing, you could use beetroot, cabbage, all those kinds of things. I'm just being very imaginative, less, and just using coffee. So I'm going to go and dry them and then I'll be back. Right, I'm back. So these are all dry, and what I've done also, I also ironed them so that they're nice and flat, because obviously they went pretty creased whilst I was obviously coffee dyeing them. This one's picked up some wax from my iron because of course it's the iron that I use for the the beeswax. So I've just got here the card packs. I know I talk about this all the time, but these I really find ideal to use to back kind of journal cards and things like that, because obviously I buy the packs predominantly for the envelopes, so I've just got a ton of these left over then, so it just makes sense to obviously use them for things like this. So I'm going to use Mod Podge to get these down onto the, oops, if I can open my Mod Podge, I haven't used it for a while, so it kind of had that gluey seal on it. Yeah, I'm going to use Mod Podge, and the reason I'm using that is because the guest checks are quite thin. So I don't want to have kind of the lines of glue, where you put the glue down and then you get the kind of lines of glue. So I'd rather use the Mod Podge, which will be a more seamless way to adhere them. So just going to get them down like that. So, and then obviously you can just spread the glue out with my glue spreader. Get my wipe. Oh, okay, so yep, not a great start to the video, but I'll just try and place that back in. Oh my goodness. Oh, come on. Okay, so yeah, I need to be a bit more gentle with my spreading. I obviously had pressed that very hard. I was pressing very hard, to be honest, because I was trying to get all the wrinkles out. So a little bit of a warning there. Don't press so hard if you're doing this. So I can get obviously 2 on here. I could put them the other way around, but then I've got that fold mark, which I'm not so keen on. And to be honest, although this may look like a waste of the card, what I will do is these edge pieces I will just use for punching circles, you know, for the policy closures and things like that. So, you know, I will technically use all of the, you know, all of the cardboard, but just not in this way, if that makes sense. So, right, not pressing this so hard. So hopefully no more accidents tearing the guest checks. So I'm just going to quickly glue them all down and then cut them out. So I probably would just glue down a bunch. I probably won't cut them all out here and now. But yeah, I'll do that off camera and I will be back. Okay, I'm back. So they're all here now on the, you know, on the backing card. So I'm just going to kind of put them to one side because I'm sure I'm being overly ambitious if I think I'm going to get more than a couple done. So let's just cut a couple out. So okay, and this one. I mean, they look a lovely colour, don't they, with the coffee dye on. I mean, I'm not saying they weren't a lovely colour originally, but, you know, I really like them with the coffee dye. Now, I've got beside me, obviously, still some of the stamps that we used in the last video. So I'm now thinking I might have to stamp this lady because I think she would look quite nice on there. So I'm just having a look round to see what paper I've got that I can stamp her on. Got some of this, which again, this is the background paper that I had bought in the other day, thinking that I was going to possibly use it when we did the stamped backgrounds. Didn't get round to using it. So yeah, let's kind of just use that paper, I think, because it's going to tie in quite well with the background colour, I think. So I'm just having a quick look for my black stays on. Okay. Whoa, my goodness, now I have black stays on all over that paper. Thankfully, it didn't really kind of do too much. Okay. Okie doke, so let's just stamp her down here. Again, I'm just going to take my block over the top of her. And look, found my great big block now. That could have been handy, couldn't it, the other day when we were doing the backgrounds. So again, just stamp her off a couple of times because that first one wasn't so brilliantly clear. Okay, that one's better, isn't it? So I might do a couple of her, and then I've got her for something else, haven't I, at a later stage. We might even use 2 of her on this tag, who knows? Well, not 2 of her on one, but, you know, we might do 2 with her. Okay, actually, I'll just leave it like that. So, yeah, let's kind of do that. Just wondering whether I want to have anything else stamped on here. I've still got obviously the other stamps that we were using in the other video. So let's do a couple of these. Again, you know, I've not got a clue really what we're going to be doing here. So I'm just going to get some stamped things ready just in case we want to use them. Because it's always good to just have a bunch of things ready to go, isn't it? Oops, I've gone very close to that lady now. That's a bit annoying because I was planning on tearing her rather than cutting her, and now she's got a stamp practically right up on her head. So I'll just do a couple more of these. Okay. Okay. Right, that looks good. And actually I've got this one laying around, so I'm just going to to do this one as well. And, you know, obviously I'm not embossing these or anything. These are all just in black stays on, you know, because I quite like naked stamps, if you know what I mean. I quite like just the black stamped impressions. So, I mean, to be fair, I love a stamp. So, yeah, I pretty much love however they are. But I'm not kind of fussed about having to have them embossed or anything like that for this project. So, let's get rid of that into the desk. Right, okay, I'm going to tear her around. This middle one, the one that I've stamped right next to her head, of course, is the best one. It would be, wouldn't it? You know, the one that I've stamped right up against. Oh, gosh. So I've now torn through her head. Oh, well, never mind. That's fine. Okay. Okie dokie. Now, I've not used my Tim Holtz Distresser for, you know, like a torn piece. I don't know. It might just be that this paper's a bit thin, to be honest. Well, yeah, I'm not quite sure about that. But I'm just going to rough up the edge here of my tag piece. Okay. Around here. Obviously you could do as well, you could cut these into tag shapes. You don't have to leave them in the shape of the, you know, the guest checks. You could cut little corners and make it into a tag. Okay. I'm just roughing the edges because I like that roughed edge appearance. Okay, right, let's distress these as well. So, because I mean, obviously at the moment she's not really looking very in keeping with the background, is she? So yeah, let's just kind of ink her up a bit. That's a bit better, isn't it? And then I could just go around the edge of this. I mean, obviously this has been coffee dyed, so to be honest, you know, I'm not sure how much the distressing around the edge, you know, the inking around the edge is really doing to this. It didn't probably need it. I'm going to have her there on there. Now, I've also got, obviously, the flowers that we've already been using during this series. And so just in line with kind of, you know, shopping our stash, I thought we could maybe incorporate a couple of these flowers. So I'm not sure. She might look better with a pinky coloured one. Let me try this one. Well, they might not go at all. But I just thought, well, whilst they're still here and we are, you know, we are still shopping our stash, let's just try and use something extra. Do you know, they might just be that they're too big for the piece, actually. Now, I've also got a banner. Obviously, it has got that writing on, which, you know, I'm not quite so keen on, but I could cut it in half and then we could cover up the writing, to be honest. You know, so if I just cut it here. You know, we're not then really even seeing the writing, so it looks a bit better, doesn't it? Excuse me. I've just got this terrible frog in my throat, you know, which is really annoying. Right, I'm thinking that she needs something else quite pink, because she's got obviously all this pink going on down there. And yeah, she needs kind of something else that's pinky. Again, I'm just using those bits that are laying about, seeing whether any of those might kind of fit in. Or I have got some other flowers here, so let's just see. Got this small one. Oh, that's quite nice, isn't it? Yeah, I quite like that. Now, does she need a bit of book page or anything like that coming out behind her? Or perhaps some of this, you know, stamped piece that I just had stamped. So let's just have a look at this. Yeah, so I hope that everyone's having a good day. Maybe you are shopping your stash also. Let me know how you're getting on. Are you having fun? Are you finding things that you'd forgotten? Are you kind of like, you know, finding things that you wish you hadn't bought? How are you finding the process? Are you kind of struggling or making wonderful things, you know, and they're coming together easily and you're kind of thinking, oh, why have I not used this before? Or actually, is it more a case of you thinking, why did I buy this in the first place? I'm not sure about that. Oh, well. Oh, let's go for it, because otherwise I'm just going to be here all day and just, yeah, it's probably pretty tedious watching me, you know, debate around, shall I or shan't I use things? So, yeah, let's just go for that. So let's put this one here, quite near the edge. And then we're going to just put her on top. Like that. I mean, she is a lovely stamp, isn't she? Well, they're both lovely stamps, to be honest. Absolutely lovely. And then we're going to have this down here with the flowers. Just covering that up. Yeah. Okay, and I'm going to, I think, hot glue those flowers on so that they're, you know, raised slightly. So I'm going to just put this one over here, and that just gives it then a bit of dimension. And actually now I'm wondering whether we might want to ink around this with some colour that's similar to that. It's whether or not I can come up with something that is quite similar to that. I don't want to kind of go in with the wrong colour and then think, oh my gosh, that looks hideous. Okay, so I'm not pressing that down too much. I'm kind of leaving it so it's a bit raised. And then, yeah, we're going to have this one just over there in the corner. Again, don't want to press that down overly much, just a little bit like that. Right, let's have a look and see what colours I've got here. I've got this worn lipstick and I've got these. I know none are looking quite right, but to be honest, I can't really see any that are any better, if you know what I mean. So I'm wondering whether if I mixed these two, whether I would get anywhere near that colour. I don't know. Don't want to kind of do something that's going to then ruin it. Oh, should really try a bit, shouldn't I, first? But oh, let's just see here. Obviously, this is not really going to be a true representation because it's not the right colour. But let's just go on with this. That's not too bad, actually. Can you see that? So by mixing the two, I think that's quite a good colour match. What do you think? So let's just hope that they're going to go like that on here. Okay. And then take the pink. Okay, I mean, obviously I've gone over that banner quite a bit, which, you know, I'm not sure whether that's a good thing or a bad thing. I'm just wiping it now with a wet wipe, trying to get a little bit of that ink off. Of course, now it's not really coming off, but, well, I think she looks nice anyway. So, yeah, I think she looks nice. So, yeah, that's one. Let's do the other one. So, let's move her to one side. Pull in this one. So again, I should really use some things that I've got laying around here. So, you know, sticking with the clearing. Well, I'm not really doing the clearing my desk, obviously, at the moment. But if I start pulling in more things, that's just going to be even more mess laying around. So I should try and at least use some things that are around the desk, shouldn't I? Now, I'm just wondering, because I had those little faces from the other video, from the book. So these might be quite nice on here. Let's just cut this lady out. Now, she has been torn slightly. This book page, it's a vintage book and it's very brittle. It feels at first feel like it's quite sturdy page, you know, it's quite thick. But it's actually very thick and very brittle, which is, you know, a recipe for disaster, to be honest. So, yeah, not the best. Not the best at all. Oh, my goodness. Talking of not the best. Don't know if you can all see that awful, awful, awful attempt at cutting out that oval. Looks absolutely shocking, to be honest. She looks very small on there, doesn't she? She's not kind of making any significant impact on there at all. Okay. Now I wonder whether I could use any of those lovely frames that we stamped. What have I done with those? Okay. I'm not sure whether this is going to be quite right, to be honest. Yeah, I'm not quite sure what I think to whether this will go on the guest check, but let's give it a try. You know, because again, we're shopping our stash, and so again, would make sense to use some of the bits that we have made and come up with in the other videos. Okay. Again, it's not really the biggest impact on there, but to be fair, I don't think it's too bad actually. I don't think it's too bad. So I probably want to put something else obviously in the background. Now I'm just wondering what would be good. I'm thinking kind of something yellowy, because the gold has obviously got a yellowy kind of tone to it. And then that's, you know, tying the gold in, I think. Now, I don't know about this, but I'm just going to tear this down. To see whether we might like. What do we think to that? Is that just really strange? Oh, do you know, I'm just going to go for this because, again, you know, I could just be here all day otherwise. So let's get this stuck down here. Like that. Okay. Oops. Ooh, come on. Oh, right. And then this one here, I'm just going to ink it up a bit before I put it on. Okay. Yeah, I quite like that. So just pop this one down. Okie dokie. And then the frame. I mean, don't you just love these frames? They're just gorgeous, aren't they? So I'm definitely going to do more of these. Yeah, whether I do them on camera or not, I'm not sure. But if I don't do them on camera, I probably won't have time to do them if I'm truthful. So, yeah, it would kind of be sensible to do them on camera. Right, I know this seems very off the wall, but this was just floated on the side of my desk there. It's a chipboard, you know, what do you call it, die cut. So, you know, I don't tend to use the chipboard things that often. I used to use them a lot when I was scrapbooking, not so much now. But I think that looks quite good on there. What do you think? It kind of just adds a little bit of contrast, which maybe was kind of needed on there. Now, just... I don't necessarily think this looks right, but again, you know, just trying out things. All just trial and error. And, you know, if you don't try, you don't know, do you? Nope, 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 nope. I can't think what pack this was in now. It is double layered, so I wonder if I can get the back layer off cleanly so that I've got 2 of those flowers. Oh my goodness. This is very nerve-wracking here, especially doing it on camera. Oh my goodness, am I going to just tear this and completely ruin it? Okay, so now I have 2 flowers because they were, you know, back to back. So these are a bit glossy, so you can probably see my Distress inks kind of rubbed off when I was pulling it apart. But yeah, let's kind of go around there again, because then I've got 2 flowers, which would just tie in the blue a bit better than having it singly. Oh, I love how that looks. Yeah, I mean, weirdly, because that is a bit, you know, off the wall, isn't it? Having the blue on there. But it's just, it was literally beside me and I thought, you know what, I'm just going to try that on there. And it actually looked really nice. So again, just press this down. Oh, my son's downstairs getting ready to go out with his girlfriend today. I'm filming this on a Sunday. I don't normally film on Sundays, but yeah, I'm filming on the Sunday because my daughter is at her dad's. So yeah, she's been there 2 nights, so she's there coming home this evening. So I thought, well, I would get on and film. So my eldest son, he's still in bed asleep, but my middle son, he's getting up because he's going out with his girlfriend today. They're, you know, going out for the whole day, meeting at 10 o'clock. Well, when he said, I did laugh because you know, and I've talked about this before. Oops, sorry, I'm just getting that. Just dropped down. He's not the best at getting up. So when he said 10 o'clock, I did laugh. I said, oh, that's early for you. So, yeah. But he's been awake since really early because I heard him, like, when I woke up at 6 something, he was already kind of awake. So I thought, oh, bless him. He's obviously made a really big effort to, you know, get up and make sure he's ready. So... Right, I just wondered whether I needed something else with a bit more blue to kind of tie the blue in. I'm not sure. Not sure whether I do. It's a shame because I should have really put that down behind the frame and then it probably would have worked. But yeah, I didn't spot it in time. And now it's probably a bit too late to put that on there. I mean, I could have it down there, but I feel like then that's a waste because it's covering up half the frame. Just check whether I could have it anywhere else. Again, it's covering up half the frame, so I don't think I will bother having that on there. It's a shame because, yeah, I do feel like it would have brought something to the party, but I'm just going to check whether I might be able to get a label on here or anything. So these are my freebies that are on my Facebook group. So I think this is not one of the finished ones. This was while I was trying to get them right before they went up on the Facebook group. So yeah, if you're thinking, oh, that doesn't look like mine, it might be that this was actually not the finished article, if you know what I mean. So yeah, just wondering whether I could have just a portion of that. Let me just cut this off, hold on. And actually I'm just going to cut closer to the frame. Like that. Yeah, anyway, I can hear him downstairs getting ready. And yeah, I just thought, oh, that's young love for you, isn't it? Because, my gosh, I can't get him to get out of bed for love nor money. So, yeah, she's obviously got the magic touch. Because she obviously, you know, she was the one who suggested 10 o'clock. And they're going to be out all day. So she doesn't have to be home till, I think it's 7:30. So I hope they have a really lovely day. I'm sure they will. She's a lovely girl. So, yeah, I'm sure they'll have a really nice day. And they just seem to really get on really nicely. And, oh, it's just really lovely. She's super pretty, I have to say. I mean, aren't young girls just so pretty nowadays? Oh, they're just lovely, aren't they? I don't know whether they make much more effort than we used to in our day, but yeah, they're all very, very pretty, aren't they? So, yeah, she's lovely. Right, okay. There we go. Just kind of, you know, brought that blue in. I mean, you can barely see it, but it's just a little touch of blue that was perhaps needed on there. Now I'm just going to hot glue these flowers down. I love the fact that they tore off cleanly because, I mean, I'm sure I've got more of these. I'm thinking maybe they were some Kaisercraft. No, not Kaisercraft. I think maybe they were Stamperia die cuts, because I seem to recall, you know, them arriving and me thinking, oh, I didn't realise they were chipboard. But actually, by tearing them down, it's working out just brilliantly, because they're obviously then a bit more manageable to use. Right, definitely want it up here, so I just need to decide how I want it. Do I want it kind of higher? Do I want it down there? Do I want it more covering? Yeah, probably like that. Okay, whether or not I'll put it there, you know, when the hot glue is on, because no doubt I'll forget where I said, but approximately there. Okay. So how gorgeous does that look? And I'm just wondering, again, a bit like the other one, whether I could put some of that speckled egg around the edge, which would just tie in that gorgeous blue. So yeah, let me just have a look and see whether I've got a cleanish pad. I've got this one, which of course is not, it's not clean. But I'm just wondering whether I could just use it. Let me just get a piece of scrap paper off and just check. Don't want to contaminate it with the purple or anything, but if I'm just careful, I could probably just, yeah, just pick up some of the blue. Don't want too much, but just, you know, a couple of touches of the duck egg there. Okay. Oh, how pretty does that look? I mean, that is so not what I thought that I would be doing with this at all. I mean, not that I had a concrete plan or a plan at all. But yeah, that kind of veered off completely at a different direction with those blue flowers. But it was just sort of sat beside me and I thought, oh, let's just see how that would look. So, I mean, they're both quite different looks, aren't they, with those guest checks, to be honest. But I really, really love how they both turned out. So I think they look, you know, super, super pretty. So yeah, I really hope that you like them, and maybe it will inspire you to, you know, if you've got some guest checks or anything, to get them out and have a bit of a play. Obviously, we've got tons more left, which I haven't even cut off the backing yet. So definitely, definitely, we can come back and do some more of these. Obviously, it will be after my, you know, series now. But yeah, I mean, obviously, we can come back and do some of these in the new year and have a bit more fun and kind of play with some more. So yeah, I hope that you like them. Hope they maybe are making you feel inspired to get some of your guest checks out, or, you know, if you've got similar things to a guest check, it doesn't have to be a guest check, but maybe you've got some receipt roll or something like that that you could kind of cut into kind of tag type, I mean used receipt roll, sorry, not blank, but, you know, something like that. You know, then you could obviously kind of do them in a similar way. So yeah, I hope that you like them, and thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys tomorrow for another one of our countdown to Christmas. Thanks then. Bye.